YouTube, just back from Guitar Safari. I have literally, well, the pickup must work in this because it was enough to run the tuner. So I've tuned this. The strings are 10 years old, not been cleaned, nothing. Even got the whammy bar in it, and it's kind of set floating, so maybe give that a shot. So this is what I just recommend as if you're starting to play the guitar and you want a guitar that's just brilliant. This one, Yamaha ERG. I think they still make it. It might only come in a pack with like a gig bag and an amp and all that stuff, but you can find them. They've been kicking about for maybe 20 years now, and they're, it's like they look cheap, but really the only thing that looks cheap is at the headstock. I had one of these there's a more modern one than this that's got like a better headstock, where I think they've just painted it black, and it just makes it not look like the cheapest guitar. It's you can see it's getting towards an RG, not as spiky, somewhere between a Strat and RG. But basically it's a Strat, a Super Strat, but HSH 5-way switch, just a volume and a tone. This one, as I've just picked it up off Facebook Marketplace, has a broken output socket, but I'm not classing that as a guitar repair item, as in something that you need to know anything to do. It's just a wee plastic ring with a hole in it. So provided you can like unscrew that and then screw it into one that you buy off eBay for £2, you know, I wouldn't put that as requiring, you know, any sort of expertise. But apart from that, it seems to be all intact. The usual thing when you're looking at buying one of these, even if it's maybe soup one up, or if you're going to have a go at painting it, this one might just be getting J-Paxed. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, as I said, the only downside of this guitar is the looks. It's just a bit plain. Maybe it's even if it was just neon yellow. I mean, I wonder if I could just actually probably just go over to Jane's and I'll just rather than have to feel guilty. I was going to say pay her for painting it, but rather than feeling guilty about her painting it for me, I could probably just hang it on our washing line, just paint it yellow, and I bet you it'd be awesome. Yeah, so this is an ERG 121C. The C will indicate what year it is. I think no, I don't know. No, sometimes it's like it tells you that it's. Did someone not say there's one with it's A that's got Alnico pickups, or V that's got Alnico 5 pickups? Something like that. There might be something in the ERG thing, but they're all fundamentally the same guitar, sort of. So, let's see if it works. Would it be possible for you to not know anything about guitars, and on my recommendation, choose one of these, pick one up for... I think if you get to like £100, you'll probably get one in quite good condition. It's clean and someone to put strings on it. Or you can probably, 60-ish to get one like this, which has not been played in years, and it's got the bashed output socket, which, as I said, it's like £2 for a bit. You might not be able to get exactly the same one, but you can just put like a wee metal plate. Or you can cut a bit of metal or something and drill a hole in it to take it. All it's doing is stopping the lead falling out. It doesn't really make any difference if you scoop it around the back of the... So, I mean, it's not a necessary repair immediately. But yeah, we've got sound, so let's try turning the amp on, see if it's assuming it's going to work. But all the pickups work, or at least one of them does. Whatever it was switched to, or using the tuner does. Well, I'm going to say that switch seems slightly on the shite side. So let's just see if just pushing contact cleaner straight into it's actually going to make that much of a difference that quickly. It's possible it will. Where's the... Oh, there's a... You get the advanced version, which has got like a rubber tube. They all come with that, but I keep losing it. So that means I can actually get in better and be squished inside the actual switch. Obviously, if I took this to bits and squished the switch from I'd take the back off it. It's pretty easy. Again, I don't know if I'd really count that as... Yeah, see, I thought so. Now there's absolutely... working fine. So we've got bridge pickup, humbucker, tone works, volume. I think it might be an alpha pot. I mean, it works. It's just that I much prefer the roll off. It's cheaper. The A pots are cheaper. So whether it's been replaced or whether that's what comes standard. Basically, when it's at full bung, it sounds exactly the same. It's just when you turn down the alpha pot, it tends to. That's me at 10, 8, 6. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it seems to, between 10 and 8 seems to sort of half the volume. If you use a beta pot, a B250 or a B500, it takes longer to get there. So you can use more of the volume control. But you just have it up at full bang anyway. How's the truss rod? Not bad. The action's on the high side, but not pure super high. There's plenty of the saddle. Oh, that's quite high. It's 2.75 millimeters action at the 12th fret, which is high. I normally go for 1.25, so basically a good bit off that. But quite a lot of that can be done with the saddles, I would say. The saddles are all set to exactly the same height. See, these are things that I set Allen keys, and you can buy radius gauges. I mean, I've got them here. These things all make a difference. It's like you set it to whatever the fretboard radius is, they say on them. I mean, these are actually more expensive ones I got recently, but the ones I had before were the same from China. I think it was £2 for a set of them. And you end up with the ones that you use, which are the 7.25, the 9.5, the 10, and the 12. And then the rest of the set are like much thinner and bigger than that, because they're not for other instruments, I think. But generally, I'm going to assume this is a 12. Or is it a 12 or is it? No, I think it might be a 10. I'm not that accurate to be able to tell the difference between a 9.5 and a 10 using the things. No, I think it is a 12 actually. It's not. It's Gibson scale, but Gibson fretboard radius. It's a 12. So basically, what you would do is you set this on the strings like so, and this one will probably be muting the two E's, and then the other one's open. So basically what you want to do is ping that, and then you just raise the saddle up until it's muted by this. That's how I do it. I don't know if that's how you meant to do it. That would make a difference, but I would probably just be tempted just to lower these down. There's plenty of scope for these being lowered without bothering going to the next shim in place. But we're talking about, if this had been bought and you'd never played the guitar before, you would want to try and bring the action down a bit. But it's not pure ridiculous high action for an acoustic. So, humbucker. Position 2, which I think is humbucker and middle pickup. I don't think it's going to have automatic coil splitting, does it? No. But that means you've got to. There needs to be an extra wire in the pickups a bit. So it should be getting more of a sound. I'm using the orange, which I've now moved to here. I don't know if I've done a video talk about that. It's much better having the amp there than it is having it there, because it's kind of. I can hear it better because it's near my ear rather than being on the floor. Seems awful obvious, I know I'm in a ninny. Middle pickup, so this is a true single coil. Position 4. Which will be the middle pickup on this. See, I mean, this has got totally dead strings on it, and the action set high. So there's like the whole raising the action thing going on. It's like I just raised the action on the corker and it's playing amazing. Actually, it's quite. I kind of find it easier to play with a slightly higher action rather than have it set. Obviously, if you have to have a guitar like that set, super flat. But a normal guitar, it's actually easier to play with a bit more. It's easier to get cleaner notes. I think dead strings probably help with that as well. So neck pickup. Yeah, so playing through the orange, I do have the reverb pedal on. So let's go for the rat pedal, being my favourite thing. Bridge pickup. Position 2. Middle, single coil. Four. Neck. Yeah, I mean, well, actually, so this is the neck pickup on so I probably shouldn't tell you the price of these things. A sub £100 guitar. You can get one of these for sub £100. Playing through a very expensive amp. And an original 90s reissue big box rat pedal. Bridge pickup. How does that compare to a slightly more expensive guitar? Like the well, good. I suppose. Yeah. So there's the most expensive. This is a Japanese RG, which is not to say it's the same, but it's sort of kind. You know, you see there's a resemblance. So what does the difference sound? This thing's got £500 worth of pickups in it. So these are normally HSH, but someone had previously put three Seymour Duncans in it, so I've messed with the wiring to make that work. This is even just in tune. So that £100, as is. Okay, the strap's mine, but all I've done to that is tune it and stick it into an amp. Yeah, so literally all I've done is I haven't even put strings on it, and these are things that basically will only make this guitar better. In fact, I should be. Well, you've still got it in your memory. Here's a Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates were a really expensive guitar through the same amp with decent strings on it. Bridge, Seymour Duncan Invader. That's the second time this has happened on this very guitar. Yeah! How annoying is that? Okay, so the string snapped on that bastard. That's pretty annoying. Yeah, I'm pretty cheesed off about that. No, not saying those strings were brand new, but they were relatively new. They weren't pure ancient. They weren't as old as these strings, my god. No way. So, I mean, it really did sound an awful lot clearer. These kind of, to me, sounded like it's if you just had those pickups, but you put a pillow in front of the amp. But these strings are ancient. I would definitely say that between the two sounds of the guitars before the string snapped on that, the biggest putting this is what this guitar sounded like, and this is what the Ibanez is sounding like. Putting new strings on it will make most of that gap up, if you know what I mean. More than half the distance between how much better they sound than these will be these strings. Bridge. Even then, I would argue there's not a hell of a lot of difference. So, I mean, this is the best guitar to get, and I'll go further. I don't have it connected up here. I'll maybe do that once I've cleaned this up. Whatever I'm going to do with it, I'm going to clean it up, which is going to literally involve taking the strings off, giving the whole thing a good wipe, possibly even with a damp cloth. Yeah, get it a bit nicer. I'm going to put some linseed oil on the neck. To clean it, to shine it up a bit, but just give it a clean. It'll make it a little bit darker and be a bit nicer. Hydrate it a little bit, but it doesn't. You don't need to have that. But I would say, I'm just thinking for someone who's thinking about having a go at playing the guitar and getting into this sort of side of things, or you're scared of working on your own guitar. You know, you've got I've been there. I had a Gibson, and it's like I don't want to touch the truss rod in case I break it, or in case it doesn't play anymore, or you adjust too much. And it's like, yeah, buy something like this, then you can mess about with it. You can always unadjust the truss rod if you adjust it too far. Just to learn how to do that sort of things. And yes, you could upgrade it. I mean, it doesn't have the best tuners on it. It's just got that type, but they all turned and they all tuned it in fine. And I would probably wait until if I was going to do something very fancy else with it. My first upgrade wouldn't be the tuners unless I had other ones lying about. But you can get a set of Wilkinson ones for like 15 quid, something like that. And there you go, fine. Just pop them straight in. You might need to enlarge the holes. But I mean, yeah, joiner work. Someone who can easily build an IKEA thing without, or put a shelf up. Properly, the ability to put a shelf up without really having any plans for it. Just, I want a shelf there. If you're able to do that, you're able to make this guitar play really good. And I said, I'm just like getting just be called a jack socket plate or something like that. Couple of quid, maybe even get it from a guitar shop for £1. It's just a piece of plastic with a hole in it. Doesn't have to be a Gibson one or anything like that. It can be anything. A new set of strings, which is something you're gonna have to buy when you're learning to play the guitar. Anyway, every few months you should be changing the strings. A lot of people are still learning to play the guitar, and maybe this, something like this, I've got strings like this on it, and really, it's not doing you any favours. It's not staying in tune either. But that's because these strings are ancient. And I guess go to the pound shop, get yourself a set of Allen keys, metric and imperial, so you can adjust these saddles, and then, as I said, you can make it into that curved shape, which you can do using one of those fret gauges, or just look at it. Make it so that look at the fretboard and think, all right, it's kind of like maybe a millimetre lower on the outside than it is in the middle. So make the two outside ones like a millimetre lower, and then kind of make them so they go in a curve. Getting a shape approximately there is much better than it being flat. And you just do it by eye. It doesn't make a huge difference. Just that all these things are just a wee percent every now and again. And you can learn how a truss rod works as well. This one doesn't really need anything like that done on it. So basically what I'm doing, taking it to bits. Nope. Taking the strings off it, cleaning it, finding or making some sort of, a wee bit of Meccano I think might do it. Make this jack socket solid. I am going to alter the wiring. Am I going to alter the wiring before I put strings on it? I don't. Yes, I do. I'm going to break into these pickups and make them coil split. Because for me, I would much rather have positions 2 and 4 on the switch. I mean, it doesn't cost any money to do this, but you need to be able to know what you're doing. Position 1, as I said, is the humbucker. Fine. Position 2 is the humbucker and the single coil, which is there's not even any point in trying to tune it like that. But the middle pickup with the proper single coil, I would much rather have Strat position 2 if I had a choice to get, so you get humbucker and then this split and that, which gives you like position 2 on a Strat, then you get middle pickup just being a single coil, and then position 4 would be, I would make that split as well, just giving you a humbucker on either end and then basically a sort of Telecaster in the middle kind of thing or something. I just prefer that layout. Or maybe do I want to get the neck pickup as a single coil on its own? I've got a few options. I might maybe try and do something a little bit different, but only using the switch that's in it. All I'll be doing is putting wires in. I mean, it totally works fine. I mean, you could just put a 3-way switch in it and then just have humbucker, middle, single coil and humbucker. There you've got 3 sounds, all super usable. So 2 and 4, they really are just bonus sounds, which you can, maybe you'll like them, maybe you won't like them. I don't, for me, they're not as different as a proper position 2 is on a, do you have a guitar that would demonstrate that? Not in the current layout. I do. 25 minutes? Got that far. I will show you what I mean with the position 2. So on this guitar, this has a not automatic coil split. So if you kind of in tune. It's the Roadster, I've got to tune it. fast fret stuff. For a guitar that's got strings on it that are a bit crunchy, that you think, oh, maybe I put some sort of greasy, slippy, oily stuff on it, it might make them feel a bit better. Kind of what that does. Yeah, so here we have the bridge humbucker, and then this is a push-pull pot. Then it is a single coil, right? So if you leave it as a humbucker and I go into position 2, it's giving me the humbucker and the bridge pickup. This sounds quite different from that guitar, doesn't it? So that would be the position 2 that's got just now, or this one. As opposed to so I mean it's got more of the spank twanginess to it. Sounds more Fendery when it's single. So really I've got the choice of the way it is, or like this, where I've got this split into a single coil, and this one doesn't have a humbucker neck, but you know what I mean. Listen to those pickups, eh? That is basically just like a modern version of this. They made this one significantly cheaper later though. This is an Ibanez. This Just by Complete Freaks has a Super 70 pickup in it and two pure awesome super low power single coils and a mad bridge. It's just, this is one of my arguments of one of the best guitars you could buy, like, for playing ever. It's so easy. Absolutely love this one. But that's kind of like a modern equivalent of it. It's the same idea where they're giving all these options and playability features in this guitar that make it amazing, but they're not the sort of features that make it sell. Does that make sense? So you could probably get more money. It'd be probably more worthwhile, putting Wilkinson pickups in it than it is using these pickups. Rather than making it play really well, because they basically spent the money on the build quality of it is amazing. It's like, this is so much better than any Harley Benton ever can be immediately, even though all the parts, you could basically buy a Harley Benton and just take all the parts off the Harley Benton and put them in this to upgrade it. Put your go-tos and your Wilkinson parts and all that stuff in it. But I don't think this needs it. I don't think this needs better pickups. I've done this before. The only thing that's wrong with these pickups is they've only got 2 wires on them, which means you need to take them to bits to add the extra terminal so you can coil split them. But the actual pickup itself, assuming you don't want to coil split it, they're not branded ones, but they're fine. Well, that tuner's something very stiff. Probably oil the tuners as well. But this is more of a challenge, because this is me going from some of my favourite guitars. I'm really pissed off. I broke that string. I think maybe I've just not put it properly into the stupid Floyd Rose thing. I'm hoping that there's enough lines on the top of the string because I put it on in that stupid reverse. Hopefully I'm going to be able to put that string back on again. If you've ever used a Floyd Rose, you know what I mean. Wee stupid block thing where you cut the end off the string and force it in. I think it's popped out of that rather than actually snapping. I'm not actually sure that position 2 really is. It's worthwhile going into it to change it to do the autocoil split. I think Yamaha would have done that if these had been like 2 conductor and a split wire, but they're not. They're just 1 conductor and a split wire, which is cheaper to make. So you're basically, your cable costs are going to be half as much because there's 2 wires instead of 4. So, and you got to try and keep these things at a decent level. And to be honest, the difference between humbucker and single coil and single coil isn't huge. It's not. I can see why they didn't do it. Let's spend the money on putting the frets in right. And again, just bland. They used to actually make. They did it, which was a great idea. It was a Yamaha 321 FP. It was called, and FP was for full plate. So basically, it can't have had this contour on it. So it must have just been a flat top. The scratch plate was basically the entire top of the guitar, and it was see-through perspex. So basically, you could buy different underlays to put on the guitar, and then you put the scratch plate on top of it, which would make it into any shape. But nobody ever bought the underlays. They just put posters in it, so you could put whatever you want in below it, and then have your own custom guitars. That seems like a great idea. You do need a big full size perspex thing to go over the top of it, but something like that would cost too much money to make this the cheapest one. But and if you just get black, again, they do it in limited numbers. You often get, it's just black, white and red as the standard colours because they're the easiest ones to do. I bet you can knock 1% off the build cost of this by only offering it in black, or only offering it in white, or only offering it in white. See, in white, this would be awesome. I think I might just paint it white. I mean, don't do it. Well, maybe I just feel like I have to fidget with the wiring just so I've done something. Maybe I put a cascading megabucker in it or something like that. But I quite fancy it. I think this in white would just be awesome. It would actually look like Scott's FGN Odyssey if you did that, because it's basically what that is. It's just like a nice shade of slightly off-white or yellow. I just want this a single colour. I don't want it. Annoyingly, I've already told Jen about it. It's like, I found a Yamaha RG. I'll probably make the same amount of money if I wire it for you as if I did it for myself, but I kind of quite want a white one. A white Super Strat, and this could be my download guitar. It's really annoying liking guitars. You can see where my problem comes from. It's like, there's the snobbery thing, and then there's the... Once this is fixed up, this is a guitar you could take to anybody and go up here, I've got a wee Yamaha, you want a shot of that? And I'm sitting there, I've got 66 Telecaster, and I've got a shot of this, and I'll go, this is fucking great! I would, at least you would hope, because it is. That's what I'm getting. I was going to compare it to the Corker or one of these are handmade custom stuff, better than what you can get in a factory. Still like this though. It's a really nice guitar. It's even this one. This is the cheap one, right? This is cheaper than Pacifica's. It might not be. But I think, as I said, I think this might only be available in a pack with a wee amp. I think it's only like it's about a £200 pack. But because they've been going, I think Argos might have even done these at some point. You see a lot of them. I've had at least half a dozen, and they've all been consistently brilliant. There's better ones, like ones that I've seen. One of it was a J that had like upgraded tuners, but I think it was basically exactly the same guitar. It's just a few years later they'd changed the specs. They do that with Pacificas as well. You know, it's like it's a difference between a blah 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 Pacifica A and a D, and it's like, well, one year it had a white scratch plate, and then they did that for a few years, and then they changed it to a black scratch plate, and then they moved it from being like a humbucker and two single coils to a humbucker and a P90, and you know they changed the slight shape of the scratch plate. You know, they kind of update it. I mean, it's a 20-year-old guitar a 20-year Pacifica's 30 years old now, 35 years old, and there's still the same guitar, but everything's changed. You know, the different bridge, all that stuff, as the years where they must have found out ways of making cheaper ones, or decided to improve it, or they'd ran out of these, or whatever it was, or just to try to move things about. But it's so well built. I so love, and the design aspect of it totally appeals to me. I hate frivolous shite that doesn't make sense. This is bare bones. It's basically, it's a bit like the RGs are a bit like that. It's like a total bare bones, as basic as you can make it, but does the most impressive things. It's only 22 fret. I suppose they could have made it 24. Not for anything. It's just that. It's his problem is some Yamaha guitars are just it's not super exciting. It's just a black Strat, pointy Strat. I do quite like the shape. It's a pleasant version of it. It's not too pointy and it's not too extreme. The headstock I quite like. It kind of matches the guitar. As I said, there's a later on one that's got a 3-side headstock, which is cooler, and there's one that's slightly later on again. I think it's got a black painted headstock, which is cooler. But I mean, you can put stickers and stuff on these things, or have a go at painting it yourself. Do I do myself a fake J-Packs? The last one of these, I put like a tiger pattern on it, and it was pure amazing. So one of these is actually one of my I think probably still my biggest ever video for hits. Which I did the same sort of thing. I picked it up for 30 quid or for 40 quid or something like that. Did a video on it with terrible strings on it and all that shit. Or just like I'm doing just now, exactly this. And then did it up, put coil splits and extra pickups, did it put an amazing graphic on it, and it got like about a hundredth of the views of the first one. The one where it was playing amazing. I hadn't really done anything major to it. You know, cosmetic, painting it, that doesn't really alter the way it sounds. And I think I put an auto. I think I just put a master coil split switch in it or something like that, and then cleaned it, put new strings on it. But I've just got so much time for these guitars. They're so much more worth it. I mean, honestly, all you Harley Benton lovers out there that I've got, I've bought 3 or 4 or 5 Harley Bentons. Have a look on Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree, and when you next see one of these for 60 quid or whatever that looks kind of alright and it's quite close, go and buy it, right, and then bring it home and do what I'm going to do, give it a wipe, give it a clean, put the strings on it, and then see what I'm going on about with why this is miles better than... Is it better than any Squier? Doesn't look... Again, it's not as desirable, but as a guitar, and it's easy to play. Again, with beginners guitars, that's not a beginner's guitar. It's difficult to play. Big wide fretboard, all this stuff. It's great for doing turbo super neoclassical speed metal on. Oh yeah, but it's not great for a beginner. Whereas this is. It's great for, you can still do neoclassical speed metal on it, but it's quite a comfortable little thing. It's lightweight. It's not lightweight or heavyweight. It's just on the lighter side of average minus a couple of grams. So I'm going for 3.4 kilograms. I was thinking 3.6 is average, so 3.4, just slightly less than that. At the point where you go, how heavy was that guitar you were just playing a minute ago? Oh, I don't know, because it's exactly what you expect it to be. Right at the point where it doesn't matter. How accurate is my weighing? Just 3.44. And if I took that lead off, 3.4. See? Getting better at it. So I can weigh, I know weights now, roughly, of guitars between 2.5 kilograms and 5 kilograms. The last few times I've tried to guess weights, I've been like within 0.1 of a kilogram, within 100 grams. I count that as pretty good. 41 minutes. I'm sorry, but there you go. Buy one of these. If you want to go at, fancy having a go at changing frets or putting stupid pickups in or painting a guitar stupid, one of these, and then you're laughing. Lovely guitar. A bit of a bash there. Electric guitars. Made in China. Yeah. So I mean, it's like, but Y0408. No, that doesn't seem like a very big serial number. Doesn't have an awful lot of digits in it. I don't know whether that'll give you the year or not, or whether he even bothered doing that. But yeah, I mean, looking at these custom shape, I've been talking about shapes because of these are new shape guitars. There's so kind of. I mean, could you not get like Andersons and Surs and stuff like that aren't as nice a shape as that? I just find that one, it just kind of works for me. And it could be, the idea of if you were to build a super ultimate mega guitar, like something like the Cork. It's because the Corker's not there anymore. It's over there. Something like the Corker type thing using, I've got a big bit of walnut. Why? I'd just make it this shape. Or a very fancy piece of wood. Or a graphic, and then, okay, you would put Seymour Duncan's or something in it, but the ones that are in it are fine. And it's a Strat Trem with the bar that actually works. And I don't imagine it's got the pure, unbelievably light. I've got one here, actually. This thing is unbelievable. This bridge my pal gave me. It's like I'm literally having to hold it down to stop it floating away. I mean, technically it kind of... I played it on the guitar, it kind of worked, but I mean, really, honestly, it weighs nothing. Literally, that must weigh 10 times as much. Something like that. Pure crazy. But maybe the sonic differences aren't there. Maybe it's one like that. It's in this. It's bent steel saddles as well. So it just needs the action brought down a bit, and new strings, and a good clean. I think that's what I'll do tonight. Maybe use this for the live stream. I want to know how much better it's going to sound once it's set up. A bit. No, it doesn't need. I don't think it needs anything major. I didn't notice any frets not working or anything like that. Maybe I'll notice that when I put the. But I mean, even as it is just now, if someone was starting to play the guitar and was like, "I bought a guitar," and like, "Did you?" I was like, "Yeah, what you got?" And you turn up with this exact one. It'd be like, "Oh, you're onto a winner, pal." Just buy new strings for it, get a wipe, and then metal plate thing there. But yeah, I'm just that much a cheap bastard. I'm totally sure I've got one sitting there. I think I pinched one off Jen because I had one and I used it up about 6 months ago. I think I've got one that will just fit on there perfectly, and then like that. She's really been made of metal anyway. It's like, how much do you save by putting probably £1, and then £1 makes a difference if you're trying to punt a guitar out for 150 because it comes out the factory for, I don't know, this comes out of Yamaha factory though, because Yamaha use their own factories. That makes a huge difference. This isn't a Cort, or it might be actually if it's made in China. I don't know, but it says Japan on the back. Electric guitars and basses made in China in accordance with specifications of the Yamaha Corporation, Japan. So it's like it's got their name on it. And Yamaha don't do shite stuff; they only do good stuff. This, get one. Rock on.